All right, we should be live.
Time for introductions.
Just making sure. Okay, I think I look good. Yeah, we're good. Hello, and welcome everybody to the last match of Week 2 for PMALCS Season 11. My name is Packer Diehard, and I'm joined by Fleeing Panda, who's going to be casting with me.
Hello, hello.
We're not going to get as much production value Panda stream since I'm the one actually running the stream, and I don't have as much cool stuff as he does, but it's alright. It'll
Hey,
still
it's all
look
right.
decent.
My stuff's broken right now anyway, so
Oh.
it'd take too long to put it back together. It's kind of what happens when OPS stuff updates itself.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway,
So,
tonight we have
yeah, go ahead.
Flesh Bled and T69.
Yeah, XXT69XX.
I'm just calling them T69 because
Classic
that's easier.
lolly shentai team name.
Why didn't they just call themselves Big Anime Titties?
Well, that's already been done.
Yeah, but I mean, like Big Anime Titties 2 hasn't been done.
It's true.
Then you do version 3 and version 4, and so on and so forth until you run out of numbers.
I believe we're going to be in Champ Select soon. I see a ready from both captains, and it does start. So go ahead and run through the lineup real quick, and then we'll get into picks as they happen. So,
All right. Well, we have Flesh Bled tonight. Their lineup consists of Flesh as the captain, Neil the Steel in the jungle, Garfield Juice is the top lane, Super Hoagie and Young Gun 18 in the bot lane. And then over on the side of XXT69XX, you have the Torpedo, your captain, Lolly Shentai in the top lane, Sarah Cruz in the jungle, it would be Tizzy today, except for he's been subbed out in favor of Tobex Law. I think Tizzy couldn't make it. And then I am the high ground, rounding out this squad.
yep. And could see some mixing around from T69 last week. Lolly Shentai played one game at 80 carry on Kaisa. And then Tizzy played a top laner, and then game 2 they swapped it, and Tizzy played his well-known Karthus bot. So with Tobex Lol subbing in for Tizzy, I would maybe look for more Lolly Shentai AD carry, because I just don't believe Tobex Lol does that. So interesting. Not something we see from Dylan that often, but we know he's a really good player, and he could do probably whatever he wanted. So
Yeah, Lolly Shintai being one of the carries for T69 is we're going to see a Warwick first picked here after our bans, going
my
for Neil the Steel.
my link, web draft wall is being super glitchy. I don't know if it is to you, so I don't know if this stream is saying it.
Stream sees it.
Okay, is there a way for me to not do that?
Anyways, we'll run through these bands real quick. We have Singed band away from Tobex Law, Viego taken away from Sarah Cruz, and Kaisa. No Kaisa for Lolly Shentai. As in return, T69 went 3 mid laner bands, Nico, Anelia, and Asol taken away from Flesh. And we're going to see Rel picked first here for T69. So an engage champion, possibly in the jungle, possibly in support. Kind of leaves a little bit of flexibility here.
Yep, and it is something. So I'm the high ground, of course, known for his Heimerdinger support. He does play. I have seen him play Rail before as something he will pick up if they actually want him to play and engage. So it is a smart way to flex that because we know they're not like hovering some kind of support that we know like oh well, obviously high ground's not going to play that. We know he can play Rail, so it is an actual flex possibility. We don't see much Rail jungle, but it is still a thing. Okay, I apologize. I keep looking at this.
It's all right. We're
Thing
going to see
glitching
Lucian
out.
picked next for T69. Lucian here probably being in the 80 carry role. I highly doubt it's mid lane. And then in response, Fleshbread going to pick up Soraka and Ezreal to round out their bot lane.
Yep, that is a classic Super Hoagie pick. His Soraka, Israel, one of Young Gun's main couple of AD carries. So they're just going to look to, I mean, a bit of poke there. They will, well, Soraka can get bursted down if you're able to CC her, which if the Rel is in the bot lane, they can do that, but Hoagie's pretty good with his spacing, and his silence will also be very much in handy on trying to prevent anything like that. It's going to be the torpedoes Malzahar picked up here before the second phase of bans, so nothing surprising.
Yeah, this is a smart pick here. Getting the torpedo on something he is very, very comfortable with. Um, and we're going to see Lissandra taken away, and now Yorick
All
is
right, so
being
we could see
hovered.
the Fwesh Penta ban, um, which, coming from what they have, I don't want Fwesh to play Seraphine just because I want him to play something with more damage. But they might be trying to force him onto the Seraphine by banning all these other champs. This could be like an Orianna ban. Um, could be. Uh, um, I don't think he would play Galio.
I don't think he played Galio
Oh,
either.
the
They're going to take
Zillion.
away the
Okay, that's
Zillion,
the other one. Yep.
leaving his choice kind of between Oriana and that Seraphine. As we're going to see Fiddlesticks hovered here,
Yeah.
um, going after Sarah Cruz's jungle pool just a little bit.
Yeah. Syracuse. Um, been one of his main junglers for a while, and if you know how to play around like his effigies and his vision, it can be very scary. So not knowing where the rel's gonna go, I think that's an okay ban. Not knowing
I'm
what
pretty
else to do,
convinced that's a Rel jungle,
we'll see. They can
especially
continue
with
to hide
Illusion.
it if they want to blind pick a top laner. Um,
I just think with Lucian, you're gonna want something that can like poke everybody off, especially a Soraka and an Ezreal. So I'm kind of looking towards that Heimerdinger right now.
yeah, that is also something that Fwesh can play. So they banned 5 of his champions. You can also pick away one by putting high ground on
No,
his most played, but no, okay. And this is technically still a flex as well because this could go jungle or top. So,
or support.
or that's true. So technically we
So we
don't
still
know.
don't really know what they're doing.
Right.
Okay, well, that's yeah. It'll I guess it'll be like that. Maokai though, it looks like for T69, they're really building a really strong engage and kind of a front to back here. As we're gonna see that Seraphine picked right here for Flesh. And that's a lot of healing. They better
Yeah,
get something with
there's
that
double
today.
enchanter there. But you're playing through like an Ezreal who's not like the hyper carry that you need to have 2 enchanters. Warwick, I mean, it can be nice to back Warwick up with some more healing and shielding. Um,
Oh, that's a Warwick top.
oh, okay, and they pulled one out on us in the. Okay, Warwick top.
Yeah, Neil the Steel getting his signature Kane pick here. Um, that is a ton of sustain for that team.
Yeah,
So
there is. I think they're very much. Well, we'll talk about the overall comp in a moment, but yeah, I kind of like that change up there.
Ergot.
This is
Interesting.
something I know. I think we've seen Tobex play it a couple times. At least I know this. I'm pretty sure this isn't his first time. I know it's something he has done at least once when he doesn't have Singed. So I mean, we technically still don't know where Maokai or Rel are going, because they can both support and jungle. I would.
How do you know the Urgot's not juggle?
It's true.
No. It probably is the Urgot top. Maokai and Rel probably be pretty flexible between the two. I don't know. I still think that T69 probably should have gone with the Heimerdinger. But, we'll see how this goes for them. They do have an incredibly strong front line with Urgot, Maokai, and Rel. So,
Yeah.
assuming they can get to the back line, um, they might have a lot of success here.
Yeah. I do think. I mean, they have a lot more engage. They have a lot more lockdown, which, um, Ezreal's kind of slippery, and um, Kane is kind of mobile as well. But if they are able to get any of that CC onto the Soraka and the Seraphine, um, they're gonna be in a little bit of a world of hurt. There's not a whole lot of other peel besides like a Seraphine ult. Um, to try to stop like someone getting bursted. Um, there's not much crowd control on the side of Fleshpoint, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about as far as their overall comp. Um, Top to bottom, there's not really much engage. There's no really easy form of CC. I'm going to assume that Neil is going to want to go Rost on the Kane, which will at least give him a knockup on his W and just make it him like tougher and more scrappy. Because there's nobody on that team that you can really assassinate except for maybe the Lucian, but he's also pretty mobile with his E. And Malzahar, if he has his passive up, Blue Kane I don't think can assassinate him through that. So I'm definitely looking at a red form Kane from Neil, but yeah, there's no easy lockdown besides like a Warwick ult, but again, that's you're just gonna hold one person in place and you make yourself vulnerable while you do that. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think their primary force of engage is going to have to be Seraphine ults.
Yeah,
Um,
I
just
think they
because of
want to
the
like
range
just
extension as it
yeah,
goes through champions, that's going to have to be it.
because
Unless they just get lucky with Warwick ults.
right. I mean,
But we've also
Rel and
seen Warwick just.
Maokai want to come to you. So in a way, you can kind of let them try to jump on you, and then use them as an extension of the Seraphine ult. When they try to jump on you, you just ult through them, and hopefully you hit Mazahar and Lucian with it. Um, but
Yeah.
I don't think they don't want to be the engagers either. I just because I don't think they're a great front to back team. Uh, they
Which one? Red team?
Blue team, Flesh Blood.
Blue team?
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think they want to kind of use their range with Ezreal. Seraphine's poke range isn't great, but they just want to try to stay at arm's length from the rail engage. Soraka's silence will be key in stopping some of those, and they just want to find fights where they they aren't just like lining up in front of an objective and saying, okay, our front line's going to run into your front line and we're going to see like who has the most AoE or whatever, because they're going to lose that every time I think against this team, unless T69 just mess up their engage. So I think they want to look for like skirmishes, play really strongly around trying to find scraps before an objective is up, so they don't have to just 5v5. Because Warwick and Kane are really good in like kind of long drawn out fights where their sustain can come through and they aren't in danger of getting locked down by too much CC that they just get bursted. So they don't want to just straight up run into like Rel and Maokai CC and get Malzahar ulted and then just die before they can press any of their buttons. So it's going to rely pretty heavily on their vision control and their kind of awareness on map timers, and how well they play around map movement, before just, hey, dragon's
Yeah.
up in a minute, let's just go meet in front of the pit kind of thing. So
Yeah, I do have some concerns about Fleshboard's ability to maintain objective control. You know, T69 does have that front line. They can kind of walk in and establish control over areas, I think, a little bit easier than Fleshboard is. Yeah. So I think Super Hoagie's positioning in this game is going to be really key to Fleshbread's success or not.
right, they do have a ton, so much like Ezreal sustain, Kane sustain, or sorry, Soraka sustain, Kane and Warwick healing, that if they don't get immediately, if they don't have a big engage where they lose a fight in the first couple seconds and they can kind of survive and then kite it out, then they will be able to
Yeah.
heal back up and then turn things around.
Yeah. The longer
So
the trade goes, the better in
right,
favor it is for Fleshblade. So, anyways, here we're going to be loading into game. Chat, let us know who you think is going to win the game. I would start a prediction if I remembered how.
oops,
There
let
it
me
is.
just do client.
Start prediction. Who will win game one? We'll give you 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes to put in who do you think is going to win the game.
Loading screen, probably not going to see that. Mine always takes a moment, so I'll just wait for us to get into the game and then I'll load up Summoner's Rift.
All right, let's talk about the real thing here. Everyone cares about the skins. Everybody wearing a
10
skin today.
skins. Yeah, very true.
Some prestige skins at that too, like a Hextech Malzahar, a Prestige Nightbringer Kane. Whew.
Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty good skin game all around.
But there's Star Guardian Urgot,
Very true.
and already we have a disconnect.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. So no need to pause at 10 when you load. It will automatically stop at 6 seconds. Anyways, hope everyone is having a good Sunday evening. It is 6 p.m. over on the West Coast, so it's still daylight out here. But over on the East Coast, yeah. Hope you guys are having a good evening.
Oh, I didn't change my... There we go. You have the sides right. Yes, I do. Okay, cool.
So, as we wait for Neil the Steel to figure his computer out, I spy something with my little eye. Is it Spock?
Oops. So when they resume, are we going to be automatically on the same time together, or?
We should.
Okay, cool.
Except it just looked like it tried to kick me. We shall see.
Let's take a moment real quick. Obviously, still early in the season since it's only week 2. Both of these teams had a not great start, starting 0-2 in their first match. So, opportunity for both of these teams to get their first win of the season here.
Oh, yeah, important stuff.
And if you can go 2-0, then you can even your record back to 2-2. But you really don't want to go 0-2 and start off 0-4. There's still plenty of time left after this, but starting that far behind, it's going to be an uphill climb the entire rest of the season to try to get back into playoff range. So I'm sure both these teams are going to bring it. Oh, and I don't think we actually mentioned, so we do see it is the Maokai with the Smite. So it is a Rel support, Maokai Jungle.
Nice. And Neil has reconnected here, so I think we'll get started shortly. Computer
One other
back.
thing, I know I mentioned I didn't really want Flush to be on the Seraphine, and then they ended up picking it after like all those other bans. I've seen multiple Seraphine picks already in the first week or two, and I don't think she has a great record. Whether she's mostly been mid lane, I think, maybe support once, but I just think we've seen teams try to do some kind of wombo where they like, let's pick 5 team fight ults like Seraphine, Misfortune, Malphite, and then it's just they just don't have enough actual damage that even if they do get a good wombo off, they don't really kill anybody, and then all their juice is out as soon as the ults are done. So that's why
Yeah.
I also was not a big fan of seeing a Seraphine, and especially when Flesh is he's your captain and arguably your strongest player with Neil the Steel. Normally, you want him on something that's one of your better players to be more of a facilitator rather than just basically a second support control mage mid. But he's really good at
Yeah.
the champions, so
I was a little surprised he didn't go with the Oriana. I thought Oriana with the Warwick ball delivery would have been pretty strong here.
yeah.
So we'll see if that is an adjustment this game that they make in the second game, or if they just don't need to and Seraphine wins them the game.
Yeah.
You know? Anyways, we are loaded onto the Rift here. The pings are coming out left and right. So I gotta remember how to pull up objective
Alrighty.
drivers.
Oh, we're seeing a stack here, possible invade from red. Oh, and there's the lag.
Yeah, a little usual lag spike.
Okay, I think we're good.
Ah, there we go. What kind of drag do we have? We have a Chemtech drag to start. So no Chemtech soul. Heck yeah. Maybe we'll get something fun.
Just to make sure, what second are you at?
I am at 55, 56,
Okay,
57.
perfect. I think you were exact. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it pretty much syncs up
Oh, and then a second.
once it starts on the pause. Yeah, it's a little loading thingy.
Yeah.
I'm still at a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyways, it looks like red side taking the long way around to get to their lane, not trusting that blue didn't invade and is sitting on that buff. And no wards were dropped in there either, so they have no information on where Keen is at this moment.
Yeah. Nice little delayed invade there from Neil and Flesh to get a ward down. They're going to see Syracuse when he crosses down.
Actually,
He doesn't even know that he's just going to take him.
yeah, Neil the Steel here being very aggressive and taking these chickens.
This is going to work out really well for him. Kane is very good at taking Raptors with his Q early. Often starting Raptors without needing a leash. And then he just goes over because he's already level up.
Gonna walk in and steal away.
Oh, and the smite.
Red buff and blast code away to safety, but Neil the Steel building an early lead, stealing away a blue buff.
Yeah, that is massive. So he also got a few early red orbs to go with that.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of 2 for 1.
And it's Lolly Shentai playing Lucian in the bot lane.
So Syracuse is crossing over for a steal of his own, which was not seen, but it does look like there's a... Oh, yep, he's checking.
Him out now. But at level 2, I don't think Flesh really wants to do too much.
But he knows since Syracuse was spotted, he can't stick around to try the red, so at least he gets something back.
And Neil the Steel opting to skip by his Gromp right now and go straight for that red buff.
Yeah, I think he's not the best at clearing a single camp early. He wants monsters there's multiple, so his Q gets the most value of hitting multiple things, and his W as well. So I think it just takes him a while to do the Gromp, and he didn't want to give up that much tempo. This Lucian pick is interesting. We don't see almost anybody playing Lucian anymore. It shows that Lolly Shentai going AD carry this match wants to be aggressive and wants to be his own facilitator rather than just like a Jinx or something that's like, let me sit back and let the rest of my team do stuff and then I'll throw out rockets. Like, he wants to make his own plays.
Yeah. The positioning of the AD carries, I think, is really important. As Syracuse going for the lane gank here, as Lolly Shentai is now down to half health. Looking a little bit like a juicy bait. As it looks like Neil is coming here as well. As in goes I Am the High Ground. Syracuse going on to Super Hoagie. Super Hoagie getting knocked back, but the damage coming back onto Lolly Shentai is pretty big, as both sides are about half
and the
health.
Soraka healing is going to be big.
Out. Yeah, Soraka healing keeping their team well healthy, as Neil picks up a lot of orbs.
Yep. Got both summoners out of the Lucian in exchange for just the heal and exhaust. So both flashes still up for Hoagie and Young Gun. So that's a nice flash advantage.
As Neil will go over and claim that first bot scuttle, continuing to keep his lead over Syracuse. As in goes Young Gun. Gonna get stunned up here, but it looks like not much else, as Lolly Shentai is at about 10% HP.
Yeah.
He's sticking around.
You like to see Young Gun going aggressive on the likes of Lolly Shentai. Normally you don't see Lucian having to back off of an Ezreal, but thanks to that play and the assistance from Neil, he's still farming very well. I mean, he's up by 10 CS, and he has this wave, which he has to be dangerous even picking up under his own turret, but...
I was about to say, he's about 50 HP right now.
I think if you just don't let the Lucian get fed, like, the Ezreal will be better, because Lucian's just not known as a scaling AD carry either. So... doing a good job of that.
We're going to look top lane here at the wet noodle fight. Both top laners farming fairly well at the moment.
Garfield Juice is about a mana, which is important as a Warwick because if you can't Q, then you're there's a lot less like trading and fighting power you have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and recall.
Yeah, but a good time to go back, get a reset off as that first Drake has spawned.
Even though they're actually this big lead Kane has, they're actually even or maybe slightly, well, gold is it's gonna stay the same. But when you have a Kane, you're fine being even because you know once Kane gets his form, he's going to be a lot better, and the fact that his form is going to be so accelerated means they can get into the mid game a lot sooner than Kane normally would be able to.
Right, and I think that CS differential in bot lane is part of the reason it's offsetting this Kane's lead. As again, we're going to see Syracuse going for the lane gank.
My game froze completely. Yours hasn't?
Ooh. Nope, okay. It is not. I will
now
pause.
Okay, mine came back.
I'm at 7:18.
Oh, okay. I was a whole 10 seconds behind. Let me. I'll pause it when I get there so we can line up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm there. I'll count us in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, Syracuse coming for a lane gank here as Super Hoagie steps up just a little bit. And I don't think they know. Yeah, they definitely don't. A Super Hoagie's going to get jumped on, knocked back with the Bramble Smash, and first blood going over to Lolly Shentai. As Kneel the Steel has been ignited, did get hit by the Bramble Smash.
Oh, it goes far.
And they're going to go again and double kill for Lolly Shentai.
Yeah, that's just what they needed to get the Lucian going and really snowball his lead. Nice. I thought Syracuse went a little bit too far there on that last twisted advance, but immediately flashing out to not take a second turret shot. It's very well played from Syracuse and making an impact here even after that pretty bad start there for him. So.
Yeah, they should be able to get this first Chem Drake here as Malzahar has a pretty strong push going on mid.
Yep.
Making sure that Flesh can't rotate over and deny the Drake.
Yep.
As Young Gun looks like he wants a little bit more, but the rest of the team gonna probably call off. Back up here is Tobex Law. Get ulted here by Garfield Juice, about half health. But he is an Urgot. Urgot going pretty low. Fear coming out. And will Garfield Juice be able to
chase down?
One more flashes by both. And a little knockback. And
oh no!
The chomp by Tobex Lol. Garfield Juice getting eaten alive. That's usually not the way that works for Warwicks.
Yep, very well played.
What is that called? Fear Beyond Death.
Yep. It's going to feel bad now because he is up by a lot of CS and has that kill now. Already has ninja tabbies, so.
Plus the tower plate and the waves kind of freezing in a interesting spot, so Garfield's just going to feel a little bit of pain here. It's an early lead now starting to build for T69.
Yep.
Ocean Drink coming up next. So what does that mean? Mountain, Infernal, or Cloud? Hextech as well? As Garfield Juice says, to heck with it, I'm going back in. And he is now at half health, barrier being used. He's trying to get away.
He's going to make it out, but yeah, he can't really win.
Here comes Kane. Here, Kneel the Steel is to help out his top laner. Going to use the slash SW. I don't know what that's called. What's that called? Blades Reach. Uses the Blades Reach, but just getting some more orbs and walking back out. Are those ranged orbs?
On Urgot, yeah, they should be. he's ranged.
Not the most useful. They're going to go looking for Syracuse here. The two of them. Over the blast cone onto the Krugs as twists, whatever that is coming
Oh,
out.
the twisted
Ult
advance!
Misses by Garfield Juices. Umbral, whatever that is going on. And Garfield Juice trying to take down Syracuse. Syracuse gets taken down as the torpedo comes over and picks up a kill. Urgot also getting a kill, and unfortunately for Flush, he was late to the party.
Yeah, the reason that ended up being as close as it was because the Urgot ult wasn't able to execute Warwick, which means he got to keep autoing with his innate lifesteal at that low health. Just got him so much sustain to keep sitting in there. Torpedo able to save the play with the flash ult, but
yeah, it was a nice rotation by the Torpedo, and he picks himself up a kill here, which is important, keeping up with the CS differential that Flesh has. Again, just early lead starting to really form here for T69 across the map. And, kind of liking the early game for him.
Yeah. The other thing that was really could have actually helped Flushblade actually make that play cleaner. Warwick tried to ult the Maokai, but he used his W on Kayn, and he became untargetable, so the Warwick ult just went through where Maokai would have been. Otherwise, they probably could have killed him sooner, but...
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate to start the fight, since, yep, Kayn has gone Rast. He is starting the Rift Herald right now. As Lolly Shentai keeps picking up plates across the map.
Yep. It's going to make it a 3k gold lead now.
Oh, Tobex Lol going in, finding three of them, saying to heck with this, I want out, and manages to dash away. As maybe we're getting another gank here bot as down comes Syracuse. Syracuse going in. Nature's Grass has been used early. Super Hoagie the target. In goes the high ground Magnetic Storm being used, and Hoagie not going to be able to get away. Lolly Shentai, I am the high ground, picking up a kill each. And another really good engage by Syracuse.
Yeah, being able to get the angle on... That's like one of the issues about a long-range Maokai ult is because you can see it and then just like try to run out of it. But when you do it from basically behind them because of the angle he took, there's no way they can get out of that. And then the follow-up with the rel is just too easy. So yeah, now really taking advantage of this early game Lucian.
And looks like Flesh going to concede the dragon as Fear Beyond Death is going to be used. Tobex Lol going to try and get low enough, but Warwick going to get that shutdown onto Tobex Lol.
I don't know if it would have mattered, but Kayn ulting into Tobex, and then the Fear Beyond Death just hit nothing because he was inside of him. So probably would have died anyway, but good play. You know, they know not to try to go for Dragon when their bot lane was just killed. They don't have any... They have a numbers disadvantage down there, so they're like, you know what, let's just get a shutdown top lane, use the Rift Herald to get some plates. Warwick feels a little bit better now, so just good decision making.
Getting a lot of tower plates off of that as well, with the Rift Herald being used, and looks like Kayn may come in here and possibly he's kind of sitting around this chicken, maybe trying to get another angle, as we're going to see another Nature's Grass being used. Super Hoagie gonna get caught, gonna get rooted up, hit back by the Bramble Smash, and Super Hoagie taken down again from another long-range Syracuse Nature's Grass.
Yep, that one was close to being able to walk out of. He could have if he had his flash, but he didn't. So yeah, just realizing, hey, right now we just need to keep the Lucian snowball going as much as possible since that's his strength. So.
As we see, Lucian already has the Essence Reaver, and Malzahar also picking up a Leandry's here, so early item leads for T69. As again, we're going to see another
beautiful ultimate
coming out, and Ezreal gonna get Lolly Shentai. I am the high ground, gonna get taken down for a double kill. Young Gun 90, or no, Young Gun 18. Sorry, I don't know where it got the 90, but
Yep, and that
I'm
one
going
just
18.
able to absorb the pressure on your strong Kane and beautiful ultimate from Fwesh with the Ezreal arc, whatever his ultimate's called, I forget now.
True Shot Barrage.
True Shot Barrage to come through multiple members as well, so that one beautifully executed.
Yeah,
Still
that was
down
that Wombo we were
4,000
talking about
gold.
earlier. So that helps coming back. I think it was an 8-1 deficit before that play.
Yep.
So now a little bit more on even grounds. Seraphine picking up a couple of assists here. And that really should help this Ezreal. Ezreal, I think, building towards Triforce.
Yeah. That's pretty much the build now. I don't. I guess you could do like an Essence Reaver and then like some kind of lethality item if the other team's not tanky, but that's not good against tanks, and the Urgot, Maokai, and Rel are going to be hard. So, although high ground is a little bit squishier going Shurelia's right now, but
Yeah, but what they really need is just the move speed. You know, to get Sarah Cruz close enough.
yeah, it gives them even more, yeah, to when they see the engage angle to run at them. The Torpedo now actually even in CS with Flesh after being down 15-20
yeah, has
earlier.
a little bit of a bounty on him. He's playing really well. As we're going to see, Tobax Law walk in, see Neil the Steel, and just hex gate out. That was funny. But both mid laners right now just clearing waves in like one go.
Yep.
So it looks like we're just going to go into a little bit of a farming state in this game while we wait for the next objective. It will be a Hex Dragon at 1 minute 13. I think
that's a really good soul to get as well. Drake, so T69 have a really good possible win con in the early Hextech soul if they're able to get the next two dragons.
Yeah, so this next dragon fight gonna be very important as they're kind of stalling this wave bot lane. So the Young Guns struggling to find farm here. I think Wally Shentai almost opening up a 50 CS differential.
Yeah. He's going to be pretty well on his way to a second item very soon. That's going to be pretty scary.
As we see Malzahar and Lucian both sitting on heel cut items as Neil the Steel has found Sarah Cruz, but deciding not
there was
to
potentially a play there if they had a little bit further back vision to know that Maokai was pretty alone there. But Neil didn't want to get, he didn't know if he had some help a little bit farther back in the river, so he didn't want to chase. Understandable.
Those saplings are doing about almost a quarter of Soraka's health.
Yeah. As long as it's out of a bush, yeah, with the demonic embrace as well, so.
As
Neil going in behind,
Neil the
but
Steel gonna find himself behind the team. See if he can get himself out. He's gonna use the Umbral Trust.
Oh, that's a massive combo.
Gonna come through, and Flesh picks off Wally Shintai. Nature's Grasp and goes in, but it looks like the fight is gonna be won by Flesh Bled, bringing us to 8-8, and the team gonna be able to pick up this dragon.
Wow, and that was pretty insane. I don't know if that was exactly how they intended that, but what a creative way to like engage a fight on your favor is to just have the Kayn go in so deep behind enemy lines that they all turn on him, and then you get the Seraphine and Ezreal ults hitting basically the whole team from over the wall, while Kayn is able to just use his ultimate to survive.
Well, the sustain on this Kayn, we were talking about it earlier, is huge, and then along with the super hoagie healing and the flesh healing, Kayn is just going to be so hard to take down.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely making the most of the creativeness with the hex gates on that deep flank, like like we talked about them not having a lot of engage, but being able to just make that behind the enemy team flank into the engage. It's very smart. whether that was intended to work like that or not. So they're still down gold, almost 3K
Yeah.
still, but
Meanwhile, while all that was going on, Tobex Lol took the mid tower with a Rift Herald. So that's they're down in towers, I think, is really where a lot of that is. As we're going to see another play top lane, flash by Tobex Lol, or Torpedo kind of in an interesting spot here. The Torpedo's going to lose his spell shield, but the Warwick ult misses short as looks like everyone's just kind of going to back up off of this. Two-shot barrage being used. And I think that's enough of a scuffle.
yeah. This is a TP from Fwesh. They're going to have to back off of that because there could have been a scary dive on mid if they really wanted to 3v2 that with Maokai and Rel. I think they could have attempted, but they don't. They still get all of the bot jungle away from Fwesh Blade and get out. So they did get cost Urgot's flash, but that's all they. Oh, and Torpedo used his, I guess. So 2 flashes in exchange for some more gold across the map.
Yeah, as we just kind of, I think, again go back into a bit of a farming state in this game. Next objective, there's Baron up right now. I'm probably waiting around until that next dragon spawns in a minute, about 30.
Klugscheiser are asking what did they ban instead of Kayn. So they triple banned Fwesh phase 1, and they picked Fwesh Wed first picked Warwick. So I think they just assumed that was a Warwick jungle. So then phase 2 they just banned more of Fwesh's champions because he hadn't picked a mid lane yet, and then they picked Kayn phase 2 and had the Warwick go top. So they did a kind of switcheroo.
Kayn was their last pick, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't really know what they were doing until that last thing. It looks like they're going after Garfield Juice.
He does have his ult if he needs it.
Oh,
put the Twisted Advance!
He'll get knocked back as Garfield Juice is still alive somehow, but the Fear Beyond Death's going to take him down as the Nature's Grasp going to go wide left.
What an ability, the Maokai W. He's able to use it and follow Garfield Juice through his ultimate, still get the root.
As T69 going to immediately turn on.
They used 4 of their ults though on that play. It's a little scary to sit in front of the Baron without almost all your ultimates. Unless you just kill the Soraka instantly.
And the Torpedo going to pick up a kill here. Humble Trespass being used. They got to watch Kayn as he comes out. But Twisted Advance again being going to use Kayn. Going to get taken down as Tobex picks up another kill. Wally Shentai flashing after Flesh, who used his flash as well. The stun going to take down I Am the High Ground. As, both of them are going to die. Double kill going over the Flesh.
Okay, so a little bit of misplay there from them. I think you just take those 2 kills and finish Baron instead of chasing, because then they don't get Baron and they lose 2 on the back side of it. Unexpected damage coming out of Seraphine there. I didn't think they were going to burst him down, but
hey, she's got a Leandries and a Seraph's Embrace right now. Building looks probably towards the Void Staff is my guess. I don't know. She has a Blast Swarm. I'm not really sure what she's going to do with that quite yet.
Beautiful flash W onto the Soraka, because like I talked about, they don't have their ultimates really, so this is a little bit of a scary play at Baron, but when their squishy support is in flash W range from Maokai, really smart heads up play from Syracuse. But yeah, just over chasing on the backside of that instead of just taking the free Baron, I think, after they killed Kayn and Soraka.
Well, they're going to fight over another objective here. Is Dragon going to come up in about 8 seconds now?
Yep, this time
Soraka does not have her flash this time.
Yep.
Nor does Seraphine's.
The only one with flash is Ezreal. But all ultimates are back.
Up.
Yep.
As they're just going to go after the mid lane, it looks like. Yeah.
Just using their tempo to force them out of mid lane to get more control here, and getting Warwick's ultimate out of him. So this is definitely almost a must-steal attempt from Neil. It's not over if you don't have Hextech Soul. But
kind of in as Dragon's still at half health. Neil gonna get engaged on. Neil gonna get hit by the Magma Storm. He's getting suppressed right now. Red team gonna get the
nice
Dragon,
secure.
Which was used. Nature's Grasp being coming out now as Soraka gonna get rooted up again. Soraka hit by the Twisted Advance, as that's gonna be the end of this fight. but immediately pivoting towards the Baron. It looks like T69 gonna go get themselves another neutral objective.
Yep. Good nerves there from Syracuse, knowing that Neil is in the pit with him. Gets the secure. Neil not living up to his name that time, so...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this wasn't
He's-
sold, duh. Because the last one didn't go to them. That was my... Because
Yeah,
that one
not
wasn't as
sold.
do or die as I thought it was, and maybe FB didn't have to fight that hard over it, considering it wasn't Hextech Soul. But chose to do it anyway. Now, unfortunately, 7.5k is a really big deficit at this point in the game. And the Baron.
Holy Shintai. Looking at Flesh here. Syracuse gonna get him with a twisted advance. Flesh gonna try and get away, but that is a big old Maokai. And you are not getting away as in goes Garfield Juice, but
No damage to back it up, yeah.
no additional damages. So Flesh Blade just kind of getting picked off here one by one, and a 7k gold lead has opened up for T69.
Yeah, and overall, I think it's really been great play from Syracuse. That has been the driving factor in most of this. They were still ahead gold after that last big play, where they were, killed 4-0, but at that point it was basically an even game, and for them to get back this massive lead now, pretty much off the back of Syracuse plays, starting things off, so...
Yeah. Syracuse kind of sacrificing his jungle and just being like, well, if I'm going to lose my camps, I might as well just be a playmaker on the rest of the map.
And that's the point of
Everyone else
Maokai as well. Like, there are other junglers that are going to be stronger early and probably more effective at trading and skirmishing early. But, I mean, his CC is always going to be there no matter how far behind he is, just like a Malphite top or something.
Yeah,
And he's making the most of it for sure.
As we're going to see Neil the Steel come in on Tobek's Law. I don't know if they actually knew Tobek's Law was there. Humble Trespass going to be used.
I think he did.
He might also be used, but it flash forward by Tobek's Law as he's going to get hit by the Encore. The sustain is massive. And Tobek's Law not going to be able to get the Fear Beyond Death, but inside the face goes Lolly Shentai and the rest of Red Team as they're going to take down Garfield Juice and Super Hoagie. As they're going to lose that top tower, this top and hit probably going down.
Yeah, they can defend past this. I don't think they have to. Oh, that was a nice route.
To the torpedo, but he doesn't have his ult, so Neil the Steel has to try and get away. Lolly Shentai flashes after him, and Young Gun now trying to 1v1 this Lucian. This Lucian is massive. He is just killing everybody as I'm the high ground. Getting a little low, and out goes
Hoagie's
Lolly
up in
Shentai.
2 seconds. I think this is the end of it.
Yeah, Syracuse looks like he's going to get a little bit of a heal here.
Phase Rush gets him out.
Scramble away with the Phase Rush. But a flash by Flesh, and he finally picks him up with the Q. As Lolly Shentai says, I'm going to go get this other inhib tower. If you're going to be used, suppression now used, and can Lolly Shentai get away? No, flash by Garfield Juice, but he's going to get stunned, and Super Hoagie picks up the kill as I am the high ground. Looks like he's going to go down as well.
Okay.
So, a bit of an overstay, but at the same time, the base is in ruins.
Yep, they lose only one inhibitor is key, but one Nexus turret. So, Dragon is up in 30 seconds, so there is enough time for Shentai and High Ground to respawn.
Plus, with these Hex Gates, all I got to do is just get, you'll get there real quick. So, there's not much of a window here for Fleshblade to get here. Their best bet probably is to clear some of these supers, get a TP over, and just hope they can pick somebody.
Luckily, Syracuse doesn't have to face check because he can throw a sapling.
Yeah, it's they're not finding this control ward though. A Super Hoagie a little bit higher up. In goes I am the high ground. Gonna hit him with the lance and stun him, but
Looks like they're gonna
not
try
gonna
to 5v4
full
this while Tobex
commit.
is threatening the base. Tobex does have his TP though, so he can join.
Yeah. Pulling already used by Wally Shentai. His True
That's
Shot
real
Barrage gonna
random.
miss everybody as this fight's kind of all over. A Super Ho, you're gonna get hit by that sapling.
Big
Encore gonna
ultimate.
come out.
Oh, Lucian's gone.
Lucian gonna go
Oh, he's
down,
not.
baby.
He's still
Not yet.
alive.
He's gonna go into a Guardian Angel as the red team
And he
has
has
secured the
GA.
dragon. I am the high ground. Gonna get taken down as Wally Shentai still alive. He's gonna take down the Warwick. Young Gun gonna finally get him, but in the base, Tobex all ended the game.
Yeah, he did not use his TP. He didn't have to because that fight took so long. He's just like, all right, I'll end the game. So, GG to both sides, but especially for XXT69 getting their first victory of Season 11 on that one.
Alrighty, let's get these prediction points. Choose the outcome. The outcome was T69. A 16-22 win. And yeah, I don't have to say, I think T69, for the most part in that game, was in the driver's seat. And it looks like Fudgy Ditters with 300 points is going to be our big winner. So all your channel points go to Fudgy Ditters and Nidalee Portman. So Nate, Steven, nice.
So, while I'm doing getting stream stuff, do you want to make a straw poll for or just a poll in the chat, I guess, for player of the game?
I don't remember how to do polls.
I think I can do it. Hold on.
Anyways, let's take a look at some damage numbers here. We have leading the way for Flesh Bled was Flesh with 26,000 damage done to champions, and then Neil the Steel was 16,000. 11,000 for Young Gun, and then 10,000 for Garfield Juice. And of course, Hoagie with his 5,000. But it's a Soraka, so he's not supposed to do damage. Over for the red side, we have Lolly Shentai leading the way with 27,000 damage done to champions.
Okay.
18,000 done by Syracuse, 15 by Tobex Lol. Chipping in with the 11,000 was the Torpedo, and then 5,000 for I Am the High Ground. But yeah, really strong game from T69. I'm interested to see what kind of adaptations will be made in game 2. And yeah.
They had to make another lobby because they forgot to put spectators, I guess, in the first one. Or something like that.
Of course.
I believe there's a poll now.
Nice. Is there a poll? I don't see a poll. I can make a poll.
No, I thought I did. Hold on. It says there's a current poll.
Really? Oh, there it is. Who was the player of the game? What are your thoughts?
I think there's multiple people. I think that Lawyer Shintai obviously, once he got a couple kills, kind of took over bot lane, and I, I I think he had the most kills in the game. Tobex Lol played very well. Top side, got his counter pick there, and won that top side. Did die a couple times, I think, to like a Kane gank, but overall was very strong. Torpedo played very well, and had a good score line. I think it's Syracuse personally because, like I said, he was in such a rough spot after the start of that game. He didn't get Kane took his Raptors and his red buff right in front of him and pushed him so far behind the ball. Plus, he was then down like a Kane was not only ahead in minions, but ahead in orbs, and it had an early transformation. But he had such an impact still, coming and ganking bot multiple times with the really good angles on the ultimate to get the Lucian ahead. Beautiful W root lockdowns, especially like that flash W onto that Soraka in front of Baron. The one that followed the Warwick top lane through past his ultimate, despite being down so much to the Kayn in the individual matchup, making so many things happen despite that. And that's why I would vote him, but I think you could give it to Lolly Shentai or Tobex or Torpedo, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in agreement with you. I had two names kind of on my mind. Syracuse for all the playmaking. I think he ended up with like a 0-3 and 20 or something like that scoreline. Um, I don't have the numbers anymore because I don't have the screen. But yeah, no, his playmaking across the map certainly was a factor in his team creating those leads. But I was also hugely impressed with the torpedo and his ability on Malzahar to keep pace with Flesh and also just contribute to whatever his team needed. He picked up kills at the end of fights to finish off people, and he did a really good job of pushing his waves. Um, in the mid game to make sure that his team had priority over objectives. So those were my two candidates. Chat, let us know. I see a three-way tie currently for player of the game. So we'll leave that open, I think, for another
There
minute.
was a 5 minute timer. It looks like there's at least a minute about,
Yeah, I
or
think
maybe
there's
just a
about a
little less.
minute left. So please, chat, get your votes in. Let us know who the player of the game is. There's like 20 of you in here. So come on, there should be like 20 votes. But yeah, anyways, looking forward to game two. I expect another spicy game, And it's not to say Fleshblade, they had their opportunities. They had that brilliant engage um, by Neil the Steel using the Hex gate to get around, and where they ended up wiping four members of T69. So, I think Fleshblood is certainly capable of coming back in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw, like, we know he's usually going to play really well in the Kayn, and he did. Again, I do think if we had maybe, well, I can't really say that much about the Seraphine pick, considering there was multiple plays where like the ultimate was essential to them actually winning a fight. The one that we talked about with that Kayn flank, but also there was one bot, I think that. So maybe I can't say that pick wasn't great, but if we had something else that had better CC, a little bit more um, more easier to pull off, I guess, engage, something like that. The poll, I think, has officially
Anyways,
ended, still at 3 to 3 to
poll is
3.
ended. It is a three-way tie. Tobex, Los Syracuse, and the Torpedo.
Okay, well, I guess that means you and I are going to have to pick one. Um, I think I still want to say Syracuse. Would you disagree with me enough to not give that to him?
Nope, I'm not going to disagree with you. So,
Okay.
Syracuse, your player of the game for game one, although Torpedo was a very close second for me.
Yep. And it's always nice when you have a substitute coming in and playing well and earning votes when you're just a sub. So also
Indeed,
very good
indeed.
shout out to Tobex. But I'm going to go ahead and actually, I think I'm going to run an ad. Uh,
Make the ad
Although,
quick.
well, I don't know because
We could do
I
the
think we're
ad during the
ready.
3-minute break.
Yeah, I think we should be about ready for
Yeah, run
Champ
an ad
Select.
while
We're
we're
all in
doing the
here.
spec link break.
Yeah, we're already in here, so should be ready for draft here anytime.
I'm just going to hit R. R. We're ready. We're ready. Chat's ready. Let's get this shindig on the road. Any baseball fans here? No? No
I
baseball
would be
fans?
more of a baseball fan if I wasn't a Royals fan. I think
Hey, they kind of suck, man. I'm not gonna
they
lie.
do.
They just played the Mariners, and
It
it
has
did
been
not
nice
go well for them.
seeing Bobby Witt be one of the best players the last month or so, but he's like their only bright spot. So it's like,
How about those Mariners, though? What is it? First place in the AL West? That's a first in 20 years. Anyways, pick ban, here we come. Blue side, T69, banning first. Do they keep the same bans? I kind of think they do. And so far, Anivia going to be taken away first.
All right, here we go. Champ select as we have begun.
And we're going to see the Singed band yet again. Tobeck's low in the game. Don't let him play Singed. And Asol going to be banned here away from Flesh. I don't know. Is Asol still that strong? I haven't played
I
it in a
think
while.
he,
So.
yeah, I think he is. Um, he's not as popular as he was for sure. But I
Uh,
think his again his late game is still just extremely strong.
Malzahar going to be taken away, and Viego. Nico also banned. So no Malzahar. Oh, no, Malzahar has not been logged in yet, but it looks like they're really thinking about getting Will Brooks off of, or I should say, the Torpedo, not Will Brooks, the Torpedo off of Malzahar. As yes, it will be Malzahar banned. I
Yep.
would have dropped the Viego ban in exchange of a Maokai, I think. That Maokai just had a lot on the map, so
And it also lets them
if
be flexible again because I think between him, Tobex, Lowell, and High Ground, I think any three of them will gladly pick it, and they're just going to first pick it. So they're going to say,
yeah,
it worked last time.
to
You
heck with
shut
it,
it.
it
You
worked.
shut down the Maokai really hard early with that cane, but he still turned around and got player of the game. So I mean,
Yep. So Maokai first picked here for who knows. We don't really know who's going to play the Maokai, but yeah, Maokai. Going to be picked as Zaya. Going to be the choice here for Flesh Bled. Zaya for, I think, Young Gun 18. Unless they switch it and it's going to be Super Hoagie. It's going to be Zaya Rakan. Yeah, for Flesh Bled.
yeah, that's just just obviously a good lane. Rakan gives them a lot more playmaking than they had last game. Rakan is not known historically as a popular Super Hoagie champion, but I know at least since last split, he's played it on his own. I still don't know if he's really played it in PMALCS much, but I know he's played it at least on his own enough to feel like he can play it in PMALCS. And they do it here, and T69 just gonna
Run it
so
back.
far run it back. We'll see if they do like a Lux here for the Torpedo, his other known champion, I think. Mid, I'm sure he could do other,
He
probably
played
a couple
Vagar last
control
week.
mages, right, Vigar. Um, but Lux, especially when you already have so much lockdown from Maokai and Rel, just like adding to it with a Lux binding or something, just lock people down forever and burst them down. The Sivir is something that is known as a popular historical PMALCS pick through each season, not something we've seen much this season or last split as far as being a popularity carry, but I do believe a poke lethality Sivir build has made its way back up in the meta, and we're going to see that now from Lolly Shentai.
And we're going to see a J4 picked here for Flesh Bled. Probably in the jungle, is my assumption, for
Okay,
Neil the Steel.
and that is another good, something they didn't have much of last game, which is engage. Um, something Neil has been playing a lot recently. I've seen him playing it in solo queue as well, and something that's Rakan goes well with as well. Jarvan goes in with the Cataclysm flag and drag combo. Rakan pops the quickness, uses his E to dash to the Jarvan and get the follow up with the charm of his ultimate, and another knockup with his W is guaranteed if they're charmed. So a really good 1-2 combination as far as engage goes. So now I really need to see some damage. I really want to see more damage coming out of Flesh here. Oriana would pair with this. Um, I um, I mean, they could Seraphine just to give him more team fight power. He did more damage last game than I thought he would, so that is still an option. But Oriana could pair with this as well. Um, Galio could be a. He doesn't play Galio much, but
Oh, we're going to see
oh,
Heimerdinger picked up here. As both Vagar and Lux take it away from the Torpedo. And then again, 5 banning Flesh as
hmm
Lysandra and Zillion also taken off the board. So I think that's what's prompted the Heimerdinger pick again, trying to go for more zone control.
yep. And it's also really good. It's hard. Heimerdinger is a champion you don't like engaging into, which is what Maokai and Rel do. They go forward. And if you're having to go forward into Heimerdinger turrets, especially if he sees a big fight coming, putting down the upgraded turrets and just running around trying to absorb your engage with his AoE. Zig's there from the Torpedo, like we talked about, just another standard control mage when his other picks are taken. Um, Lots of damage, lots of AoE, which goes well with Maokai and Rel locking people down, just throwing a big bomb on top of it.
Yeah. It also has a lot of pushing power with the ability to execute low turrets. As we're going to see that Fiddlesticks picked up here, banned away last game, not banned this game. Fiddlesticks picked for Syracuse.
Okay, so it is the Maokai top lane. You would expect them from um, Tobex Lol saving their top laner, and Garfield Juice is going to get his choice of counter pick, knowing it's the Maokai, hovering the Mordekaiser. He played it once last week, I believe, and played very well on the Mordekaiser, despite, of course, losing the game, but did very well for himself, and it will be locked.
Yeah, chat saying a lot of AP from T69, only AD is Sivir. Well, when Sivir is able to put out the damage that I expect her to, I don't know if that's much of an issue.
And it's also, especially with Mordekaiser being locked in, they don't have a straight up tank that's just going to be like, oh, you're all AP, so we're just going to stack 3 MR items. Like they're that's one of the things about being like a pretty single damage type comp. It doesn't matter if the other team doesn't really have tanks because they can't counter your only magic damage by just building 3 Spirit Visages and 3 Force of Natures. Like no one on their team's going to do that. Maybe Mordekaiser will go a tankier route, um, but Jarvan usually is a bruiser, Gore Drinker, Black Cleaver. He might have a MR item in there, um, but he's not going to be a massive tank. Heimerdinger, Zaya, they're not going to have magic resist really, so it doesn't really matter that much. But whatever magic resist they do build instead of armor just means that the boomerangs coming through from Sivir are going to hit that much harder because they're not going to be building armor as well.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to take a quick little ad break here while the game loads for us. So, chat, let us know who you think is going to win. And we'll be back in
Yeah.
just a moment.
Can you do another prediction?
Yeah, I'll do it. Just a sec.
Okay.
Who will win game 2? T6.
I haven't started an ad yet because they haven't locked in their champs. I'm
Oh,
going to
well,
wait
I
for
mean,
them to actually be in the spectator delay. But
it
I guess it
doesn't
doesn't
really
really matter.
matter.
It's true.
There
Okay,
it is.
here we go.
Mission period will give you 5 minutes to make your choices. So get in there. Let us know. The casino be open. Everybody get in there. Let us know what you think. What do I think? That is a question. I'm not really sure. Whose comp do I like better? How long of an ad thing did you do?
It's just 1 minute.
Okay.
I don't know if I have more options than 1 minute. Like it just says run 1 minute ad break. It doesn't say to change the duration.
Oh, there totally is an option to change it.
Oh, well, I don't know where that is. I'm just looking at the quick action bar, so maybe somewhere else, but
Yeah,
not
you
on the
can
quick
add a bunch of
actions.
actions and There's a bunch of them for like changing the duration of the ads. So
Oh,
like, there's
gotcha.
one for like 30 seconds. There's one for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes worth of ads. Just shoot myself. I think 45 seconds, and I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Okay, so it should be over now. Um, yep, just to throw, I do like Fleshwood's comp overall more. I think it's more well-rounded. They have a lot more facilitation to make plays, make engages. However, going Heimerdinger or Mordekaiser as the last two picks, they don't have the best follow-up to Jarvan Rakan engages. Besides like maybe like a long range Heimerdinger ult grenade that'll bounce in there or something. But like if especially if Jarvan and Rakan engage from a long ways away, and Heimerdinger or Zaya are not immediately right there to follow it up with the damage, then that's a little bit concerning. If they had something a little bit more long range, to just immediately pile in damage when Rakan Jarvan go in, might like that a little bit better. But I do overall like this better than last game, and I believe uh, I think they played well game one despite not having a super strong comp, and I think they're gonna lock it in, and I think they're gonna pull out game two, and that way avoid the 0-4 start to the season. But could go either way. That's just my
Yeah,
attempt.
I think this game's going to hinge on Syracuse and kind of what kind of performance he's going to give on this Fiddlesticks. Is he going to have like the carry playmaking performance that he did last game, or is he going to get steamrolled through the jungle by Jarvan? I think that's going to be huge. If the Fiddlesticks falls behind, it's really going to struggle to get back into the game. And Syracuse fell behind a little bit at the early game last time, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the matchup I'm going to be really watching here, as we are loading into the map again. Everybody wearing a skin.
Okay.
Pause at 10. I'm paused at 10.
All right. Yep. I'm paused. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty, so we are ready to get started here. Looks like an ocean drink to begin the game. There's a lot of pings are going to come out here. I'm not thinking we're going to get an invade. So no spicy early game. Although Neil.
Ooh, he's gonna get a. Assuming he has mana flow, so he gets a mana flow stack.
Early mana flow stack. GG, it's over. As also
Oh.
a gold lead. And another mana flow stack.
Ooh. 2 already. He's feeling good about that.
Already.
Yeah, I don't think the shenanigans, Jarvan isn't going to come in and start your Raptors like a Kane would, so something like that's not going to happen.
This Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks attacking the turret. I don't know if it gives vision, if he doesn't attack it, but because they knew that his turret was destroyed, he knew that he walked in there. He's just going to put down an effigy and walk out, but...
Yeah, so it looks like a leash start here for red side, but leashless start. That little Fiddlesticks effigy is going to use the crap out of me on the mini map.
By the way, in the poll, I think voting favored T69. In case anyone's curious.
Oh yeah, 79% of you.
Would have been better if it was 69 because that's their team name, but
I know.
it's close. It's close.
Unfortunately, you can't have everything, as Tobek's Law gonna Use the Bramble Smash to knock back Garfield Juices. Gotta have a little bit of a wet noodle again.
One thing that I think I wanted to mention before, but I haven't, was a little bit of a stat thing. Of course, stats aren't. Ooh, look at that.
That's Tobex Law getting really low here. Another
Yeah,
mace drop it up.
making the most of his counter pick there. Speaking of Garfield Juice, the stat I wanted to point out as well, shout out to my as our stats guy that I saw from week 1 was Garfield Juice and Lolly Shentai. They're kind of top laners. Ooh, nice steal. Lolly Shentai, of course, not top this game, but did 32% of their team's damage last game, leading the way for top laners in week 1. Even though both teams went 0-2, so that was kind of a funny stat. He will look to repeat those damage numbers on this Mordekaiser. And again, thanks to Maye for being our stats guy.
As Garfield's just going to get a lot of damage out here as the passive's kind of not ticking down. As I think the Obliterate's on cooldown, which is why he can't take down Tulbeck's Law. But yeah, Neil the Steel walking in and again stealing a camp, as we're going to see a huge trade mid lane for Flesh on the Torpedo.
Yeah, I didn't see the... I wasn't like following the minimap jungler movement, so I didn't see... So it looks like Neil just did his bot side and went straight in.
Yeah, and gonna now go over to the top side of the map as Syracuse gonna get this Scuttle Crab. So not gonna get double scuttled this time, but I'm gonna try and find an angle here onto Flesh. It seems he's kind of just chilling off to the side as mini map's gonna take us down bot lane. So again, the wet noodles keep slapping each other. Which wet noodle will win? I don't know.
There's the Conqueror, the shields.
And Tobex Law going to take it pretty low as now here comes Syracuse into the bot lane, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Going to get a fear off as the Torpedo ticking down.
Ignite!
He is ignited, and first blood going over to Flesh as Tobex Law going to try and get away, but Neil the Steel going to pick up the kill in the top lane.
That was kind of a funny way that looked. I guess the damage on the Q still hit Maokai despite being in his W, and then
yeah,
when he went to his flag, he was still rooted for half a second from the W, even though Maokai was dead. But still, nice dive. Mordekaiser's just going to have a massive lead on this Maokai, which is exactly what they want, but they will trade a drag for that.
Yeah, early drag going to go over for T69 in response. Yeah, the CS differential top lane is going to be a problem with this Mordekaiser. Looks like he is going for the Rift Maker build.
I would think. I don't know top lane and stuff builds. I think he's probably going for a Rylai's first. I think that's normal on Mordekaiser, just because you get the slow as well when they're in your zone and they just can't get away. And I think after that you can go either way with doing the whatever Rift Maker, or you can even go like Jock Show if you want to be tankier.
Yeah, true. As Ultimate is going to be used here. Death Realm, the 1v1. Tobex looking to knock him away as the Nature's Grasp going to keep him away for now as a little coming out.
Trading ults is fine, because Maokai's ult is more impactful in a team fight, but probably not going to be any team fights for a while, so he doesn't really care that he used it. And he's going to get an early Merc Treads. I think it's pretty smart for his lane opponent.
Yeah, as we're kind of just going back to a little bit of a farm state here.
A lot of wave clear, especially on blue side actually with Sivir and Ziggs, so they're able to just kind of farm. Shove waves, don't have to implicate themselves in dangerous positions.
As we're gonna see Neil the Steel, he has a timer on that red buff. He's just gonna go straight for it. Maybe Gake bot.
This Maokai Q actually doing a lot of damage to Garfield Juice. I don't know if he wins a 1v1 now.
Q or the saplings?
Well, both, I think.
As we're gonna see it engaged by I am the high ground, but the Zaya gets away using Ghost and Flash. So
trying to use the advantage that they got their level 6s, and Young Gun and Hoagie were still 5.
But this is a Maokai.
Yep.
Oh, never mind. Mordekaiser are just gonna get taken down.
Yep. Syracuse did a good job.
Fear him.
Yep. I think working his way into the bush.
Too long, and, but Neil gonna find the Fiddlesticks as well.
Yeah.
Realize that he just needs to collect the wave and go back out. I think the fear lasted long enough where he Garfield Juice wasn't able to get off the death realm.
Yeah. Well, then also the Bramble Smash pushed him like farther away, where he probably wasn't in range. At least not to use it on Fiddle. But he was probably gonna die either way on that low health and didn't have any tank stats yet. Yeah, so he bought a Giant's Belt, so I think he's definitely going Rylai's.
Going Rylai's first. Or Demonic, I guess, but that would be...
Yeah, I think you almost always just want to slow, because you just want to stick on people. And it does give you health. Well, I mean, obviously Demonic gives you health too, but... Maokai going Ibami Cinder is a little bit interesting. I mean, obviously it can help him wave clear and it adds damage. But assuming you're going to finish that into a Sunfire, the armor doesn't really matter against a Mordekaiser. So I'm a little bit surprised, but we'll see if he actually finishes the full item.
We'll just have to kind of watch here and wait, as I think that's an effigy over by Neil the Steel.
Yeah. That's been there for a while, actually, because I saw it on the minimap earlier.
Wow. Maokai stepped a little high up as Super Hoagie going to get a knockup. But never mind, everyone's just going to walk away and say hello. Oh, Death Realm going to be used here. Can't get away now. Going to use the Twisted Advance and the Nature's Grasp to get away. Will it matter? He will not die in the Death Realm, as Garfield just again going to flash the emote. That wave is still back. Oh, he's going to take a pair of tower shots for his
turret shot, yeah. Not the smartest.
As Syracuse decides he wants to just start this drag up.
Big engage potential here. Hoagie doesn't get it though.
I am the high ground. Gonna use the Magma Storm. Gonna get everyone trapped. And Wally Shentai trying to get away. Will manage to do so as Tolbeck Soul gonna go in. And Syracuse taking everybody down. Double kill going over for Syracuse. With the fears, with the flash forward by Tolbeck Soul, and the torpedo gonna pick up the kill on Garfield.
Extremely well played there from Syracuse. He flashes over the wall behind Dragon Pit. You think he's just flashing out for safety, but he's doing it so that he can then turn around and channel the ult and actually get the fear once he's out of vision. So he just re-engages using his flash as his way to get in a better position. And again, Syracuse just being really smart and aware of his champion's strengths.
He also won the Smite fight, so that's an early 2-dragon lead for T69.
Yeah. The engage there from Super Hoagie was not there. He tried to just ult W in. He didn't actually hit anybody. I think you probably want Neil to start that.
Well.
Yeah, I think you want Neil to start it with the Flag and Drag Cataclysm, and then you use him going in to be a path for you, because you can E to him and just follow him as a secondary with your ultimate on. and then you're just always going to guarantee you're going to charm people and then knock them up if you're doing it second rather than being first. But
it also didn't help that 3 of them ended up getting trapped inside the Cataclysm from Yield to Steel. So
right, yeah, because it only got on the high ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, gold lead though is still going to be dead even, big thanks to massive CS advantages top and mid. But it is going to be 2 dragons and a stacking or mountain soul map here, which is going to be pretty big.
I think Mountain Soul really benefits T69 because this Fiddlesticks thing just becomes extremely hard to take down. As we're going to see Rifttail get used in the top lane, Garfield Juice trying to get some more plates, potentially first turret. No, not enough damage for first turret.
Just don't step up.
Oh, but Neil the Steel going to find Syracuse' Nature's Grasp to come out, but I think that's going to miss everybody. As,
might have seen the Rel there as well,
located.
but Sivir's going to be safe enough.
Oh, Lolly Shentai going to have to try and get away. The ult going to be used, and the charm going to come down. Young Gun, will he be able to get the kill? Yes, he will, as the Boomerang does not get a response kill, but Super Hoagie.
Yep, that wasn't the cleanest, but they knew that Rel wasn't there because they saw Neil the Steel saw Rel topside, so they saw the chance for the 2v1. And again, didn't look the prettiest, but they still got the job done. So
yeah,
2
had
kills
to use
now on
the
Xayah.
Feather Storm, Ghost, Flash, everything. But Lolly Shentai still doesn't have Flash, I think, for another like 2 minutes. And Neil the Steel again gonna kind of be hovering in this area if I Am the High Ground engages onto a Super Hoagie. Looks like they're just gonna let him walk away. As that's now 2 kills for the Xayah. Garfield Juice again gonna hit the Obliterate. Is used. Is gonna get in range of the tower. He's not in range of the tower. The shield gonna hit. Obliterate gonna hit. The grasp is also gonna hit. Will the tick down? And he will. The tower will not.
Finally gets the solo kill. He tried so many times, and gets his first kill of the game. Yeah, to go with his 40 CS lead. So now he's gonna be feeling a little bit better about that. Neil actually gets that knock up, but
yeah, gonna just knock a few things down. Oh, flash in. Neil the Steel gonna get his engage. Spell shielded, but again, Young Gun gonna take down Lolly Shentai. As the fear coming out, Neil the Steel gonna get taken down. As Syracuse is getting the damages out. Super Hoagie also going down. That is a double kill for Syracuse. As Young Gun gonna try and hold this tower. This tower is going to not drop, but be engaged by I Am the High Ground, and Syracuse kills him underneath the tower.
Yeah, it was smart there from Neil the Steel because they knew Sivir had no flash. So if you get her in the Cataclysm, she can't get out. Spell Shield doesn't help with that. But good read from Syracuse to come and follow up there to make it a extended 3-for-1 there after the dive.
Well,
no Fiddlesticks though. No Fiddlesticks ult, I mean, so he's a bit weaker until the ult comes back. Which is good now that Dragon's up.
Watch Garfield Juice smash the Rift Stetler, as I think he smited that too. So his smite's down for a little bit.
This is a lot harder now for T69 when Syracuse doesn't have the Fiddlesticks ultimate, so knowing that, they're just going to take the turret top of Maokai, and they're not even going to attempt it. Yeah, Fiddlesticks teamfight capabilities is quite reduced if he doesn't have the Crow Storm.
Yep, a little boomerang toss maybe to try and see if he can snag that dragon, but ooh, what is that ult?
That Ziggs ult went a little wide there.
Yeah, that was mostly on the wall. As Ziggs gonna have to flash away as a teleport being used here. On the hunt being used, Magnet Storm coming out. I Am the High Ground and Lolly Shentai trying to get some revenge on Young Gun. And Young Gun gonna get caught out for just a little bit. There's no tower there.
Yeah, Young Gun is actually patient on the feather pullback. He didn't use it right away because Sivir had the spell shield, and he actually waited out the spell shield, but it didn't matter because he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'm wondering the timing on when that Ghost came back and when On the Hunt was used. Because you'd think if he could use Ghost to get away from them, then he wouldn't need to try and use the Feather Storm as much.
Right.
But not really sure. Is Neil the Steel going to find Lolly Shintai? As we look topside, Garfield Juice and Tobexlaw again with the wet noodles.
Garfield Juice actually is going the tank route here with building towards the Jock Show. I'm a little surprised because I think they almost want him to 1v1 more, and the Rift Maker would just give him more damage, and the healing as well, and the tank shred through the Maokai.
Well, I think they're going to need him to have tank stats because he's probably going to have to 1v1 this Fiddlesticks actually in the Death Realm.
It's true, yeah. If he can ult Fiddlesticks to prevent the Crow Storm from killing his team, then you need to be tanky enough to survive it as well. But
we're going to see Rift Herald.
It's going to be a 4v4. Torpedo can join with his teleport.
Ground. He's going straight for. Oh, he turned around and went for Garfield Juice. Garfield Juice gonna use the Death Realm as it's a 1v1 with Tobexlaw. Cataclysm coming out by Wally Shintai. But the knockups, and here comes Crowstorm. Neil the Steel taking down Young Gun, trying to get away. He's gonna have to flash. Garfield Juice now surrounded by 4. Garfield Juice taken down as the bomb from Ziggs hits his own team, and thankfully he can't kill them.
Yeah, I think just not super coordinated there from Fwesh Boed. Zaya did eventually make it up there, but started that fight way far away. They didn't really have much coordination on an engage. Neil and Hoagie weren't really together. Mordekaiser ulted the Maokai, so I mean Maokai couldn't ult, which was good, but he couldn't kill the Maokai. And then Mordecai was just kind of in the middle of the team. And again, a beautiful ultimate from Syracuse, who's 8-0, by the way, on one of his signature picks, and really making his... making his...
Rift Hill immediately going to get used here. This tower probably gone. Yep, it's gone. So all the outers taken down by T69.
And the nice early game there from Flesh Boed is now going to put them at a 3.5k gold deficit as we're about to get to 20 minutes. And we really haven't seen anything from Flesh after that early solo kill on Ziggs. He's farmed a little bit, second most CS in the game, but I haven't seen him really do anything else. And that's the thing about a Heimerdinger is you have to be way ahead of a play to set up all your turrets, otherwise you don't have much else.
And that was something they struggled with last game, was getting to objectives early enough to get the setups. So see kind of a similar trend occur here is the Obliterate coming out. Garfield Juice at half health has Neil the Steel for support, but Tobexlaw.
See, I'm not even sure seeing this that he really wins a 1v1 anymore with the Maokai. Like, it looks like Maokai comes out with more health on these trades.
Maokai's coming out with a lot of health. As he has an Abyssal Mask, that's probably why, actually.
Yeah, that helps a lot. So I did, like we said, he built the early Bomby Cinder, but then he didn't actually go armor. He didn't finish the Sunfire Cape, he went into the MR. And I do think Riftmaker, as much as you're kind of having him stay in the side lane with Maokai, I think Riftmaker is a better mythic for the Mordekaiser, because you're just going to get some true damage and some more healing out of it as well, so that you're never going to lose the 1v1 to the Maokai. And I think you do want him to split push, since he doesn't provide the
20
best.
20 seconds now, the Drake will spawn.
Yep.
And again, T69 here early, Syracuse off to the side. And this looks like it's set up for another big Syracuse ults.
And Maokai gets to just split push because he has TP. Garfield Juice does as well, but he's not matching, so...
In goes
Syracuse goes in, but the ultimate is actually not the best. Syracuse is going to get rooted in place. No, he doesn't.
Gonna get taken down. The pullback on the Featherstorm used already. A Young Gun going really low as the Boomerang not going to take him down. Ziggs on the backside. Ziggs will be able to pick up the kill on Zaya. As now the fear coming out on Garfield Juice. Garfield Juice surrounded by 4. Garfield Juice taken down by Tobexlaw as Flesh, again, the only survivor for his team. And this dragon gonna probably go over. As Tobexlaw trying to do a little bit of zoning. The Bramble's gonna hit. The Boomerang will pick up the kill for Lolly Shintai.
Yeah.
Flesh had
So
Ignite that whole time and didn't use it.
something interesting there. Might have changed how the end of that fight went. I don't know, but Syracuse was just sitting like in front of like 6 Zaya feathers while his Zanyas was active, and I was just expecting, oh, he's just gonna get instantly rooted by the Zaya feathers and probably die right after, um, as soon as the Zanyas wears out. But I think Young Gun
Young
got
Gun played him
stunned
really good.
by High Ground's Q, and he was able to just walk away from the feathers before it went off, and then he saw that Syracuse was still alive at the end of that fight instead of being probably dead. So I didn't really watch Neil and Hoagie on that fight. I was looking at Syracuse, so I didn't see. But again, I'm not sure if they just are on the same page and having the best like engages.
Yeah, I saw them. They ended up basically getting caught by the Magnet Storm, just kind of held still,
Right.
so they weren't able to affect
Blue team's
much
just
of
on
the
Baron,
fight.
and Red really has nothing that they can do. I think they're going to start heading that way now. They don't have
Yeah,
the
Ziggs isn't here, so
fastest.
this is a little
They don't have the
4v5
fastest Baron
action.
take with this Sivir
Oh,
build.
Nature's Grass coming out. Gonna root up a few. They're gonna find Garfield Juice. Garfield Juice gonna have to use the Death Realm to get out. I think he Death Realm Syracuse. Yes, he did.
He has to
And
walk away
that's
to
gonna
his
stop
team
this
now, but they're
Baron.
here.
Yeah, that's 4v5. They have to back out as the Super Mega Death Bomb gonna come in and
That didn't do that much damage, so
not gonna do a whole lot.
at least they got him off the
Only
Baron.
has one item so far.
Yeah.
Looks like he's building towards the Seraphs. Or Archangels, I suppose. It's not Seraphs yet.
And now Jock Show was completed by Garfield Juice, but that almost means like you don't really want to be in a 1v1 in the Death Realm, because I think you just get a lot more out of the Jock Show if you're draining multiple people with it.
Right.
So, I don't know, it's interesting. I don't really think he can kill anybody in his Death Realm now.
Not until he gets a demonic.
Yeah.
You know, and that's gonna be a while.
Maybe he
away.
could kill Ziggs,
Yeah,
but I
Ziggs,
think
maybe
Sivir with her move speed and her spell shield, if she blocks one of his Qs with it, then
Yeah, she
he'll
has
never
Yomo,
kill her.
Static,
Yeah.
Black Cleaver. Like, she's gonna cut him down pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, gonna be a tough ask for Fleshblade to get back in this as gonna clear some vision out of the back of the pit. As Garfield just gonna get kind of seen out here. And Kobeck's wall. Oh, but in goes Neil the Steel. They're gonna try and pick Eye on the high ground. Magnet Storm coming out. The Baron is doing a lot of damage to Neil the Steel. Gonna have to ult onto Wally Shentai. But Wally Shentai picks up the kill. The quickness being used. But the quickness is not gonna get enough as Wally Shentai gonna flash forward at Young Gun. And now Flesh has found himself in the wrong spot. He's gone golden. He's taken down by a boomerang. As Young Gun trying to get away. Will he manage to do so? The boomerang will not do enough damage if Young Gun going to survive with a little bit of health. But again, 3-4-2 in favor of T69.
3
They
for
did
2.
shut down Syracuse though.
Yeah, 3 for 2, definitely not bad considering their deficit right now, but it was a 4v5. Ziggs wasn't even in range to throw an ult into that, so they lose a turret on the other side. Noli Shentai is now just so massive with his 3 items, taking another turret here. It's hard to get onto him with the move speed, the spell shield. Yeah, you can put him in the Cataclysm. If he doesn't have flash, he can't escape.
Kind
But
of a pick your poison, right? You focus Wally Shentai, then Syracuse with Fiddlesticks just takes you all down. Or you focus Syracuse and you end up leaving Wally Shentai to do the damages. As, Drake gonna spawn here in about 30 seconds. This is the Mountain Soul for T69 as they're gonna spot Super Hoagie and Yield the Steel.
once again, Tobak Lowell is already at that top lane turret with his TP ready when he needs to join. So they're also just making the most out of their map pressure.
And the macro play here by T69 has been really impressive. As the dragon has spawned, that tower is probably
Now
going to
that they
drop.
have firm control of the river, he's able to put some turrets
And,
down, but
yep, here's the teleport. As he's coming in, do they use the Bramble Smash? No. Dragon kind of interested in Kneel the Steel here, not resetting. As now it finally will. Got impatient with that, as these
so
turrets
now,
keep getting dropped by every boomerang Wally Shentai throws out.
yep. Ooh, Neil Garfield Juice chunked.
Because again, Nature's Grasp
Decides
being
to
used there,
ult
just
Rel.
straight onto Garfield Juice as all of the damage is coming out. There goes Sivir. The torpedo going to pick up a kill in response. It looks like they decided to engage on Sivir, and Syracuse going to do a lot of damage along with the torpedo to
Yeah,
clean everybody up for the clean ace and the Dragon Soul.
tries to deny some of their engage by putting Rel in the Death Realm. But again, Syracuse, I think, kind of worked up into around that wall near the blue buff and able to get a nice Crow Storm over it, so it didn't really matter if Rel didn't have an engage. Fighting through Zig's AoE as well, and yeah, like you said, even though you do get the Sivir, there's just enough damage from the rest of the team.
Yeah. So immediately T69 going to turn on to this Baron. Their take is
It's kind of slow because there's no Sivir especially, so they're maybe going to be. I mean, Neil's definitely has a steal angle
Neil's
at
going to get
least.
here. The angle is here. He's going to put his flag into the pit, and he does have his flash failure. They slowed down the take. The
He doesn't have
now gonna spot this.
his flag's going to wear out, so he doesn't have a way in. But they
No,
back
but it'd
off
be
of it
bad
anyway.
for time. Yeah,
So
I think that's a real coin flip. That if they continue that, I think Neil does have a way into the pit.
he has his flash now, but I think
He had his flash when he got there.
once his flag goes away, I think you're like, oh, just like burst this thing down now. But also the pop or the plant,
Scryers. Blast plant.
the blast cone wasn't there, but then spawned as well, so that was another way for him to get in.
Yeah. So, anyways, Baron not going to be quite yet taken, although it is a 9, 8k gold lead.
Yeah,
I can't do math.
about just short of 9. And now that they have the Mountain Soul shielding as well, even if they do finally find a really good engage, they have the extra shielding to not get bursted.
Yeah. Going to be even harder to take down Syracuse and Lolly Shentai.
Yeah. Who also is it? Fiddlesticks just saying, you know what, I have a 25 stack Medjai, I'm just going to go QSS. Because he just doesn't want to get ulted by Mordekaiser. Who does finish his Demonic Embrace now as well, so finally some more damage potential out of this Mord.
Anyways,
We'll
thank you DH Eggs for the 40-month streak.
Nice.
For the sub. Thank
3
you.
years, 4 months, close to 3.5 years. That's a long time.
So, this game's going to kind of settle back into a little bit of a farming state, as T69 is probably going to dance around this Baron, try and find an angle to pick somebody, and then just pivot onto it. As Lolly Shentai stepping a little far. But that's a 4-item Sivir.
Yeah.
Oof.
This is really dangerous to walk into.
And
For that
Neil's
reason,
gonna get found by the Crow Storm, and Kneel the Steel gonna get dropped by Syracuse's. Garfield Juice has taken Wally Shentai into the Death Realm. He's gonna get huge damages up. The spell shield's gonna bop the obliterate, and Syracuse picks up the double kill. And that should be Baron for T69.
yeah, even on 3 items, you can't 1v1 this Fed Sivir in the Death Realm, so.
I think it would have been a lot closer if Wally Shentai hadn't expertly spell shielded that obliterate.
Yeah, I mean, because that obviously does extra damage if it only hits one target, but I probably wasn't enough, but regardless, yeah. It's so hard for them to do anything about that Baron when they have no control over their jungle and you're walking into Fiddlesticks' ultimate
Fiddlesticks, Maokai,
Yeah.
Rel.
Even if he uses it basically solely on Neil, which he did there, you take away their jungler, you take away, part of their engage with the Jarvan, and then even if you only kill him,
There's
at
no
that point it doesn't
smite,
really
so
matter, right?
yeah. As it looks like it's a minute and about 45 seconds till the Elder Drake comes up. So maybe a little bit of a window here if you are Fleshblade. You try and just hold on, not lose any inhibitors until this Elder spawns. Then maybe you can fight for the Elder. But that is going to be a tall ask. Why are we setting up for Elder? We're not setting up for Elder. T69 is sort of set for Elder.
They can just let
If
their
you're
Baron
Fleshblade, you're waiting for
minions
the Elder,
push.
hopefully.
Oh, here comes the ultimate, and that's going to be a
And
dead.
goodbye, Heimerdinger. Died to the Crow Storm as the Mega Bomb gonna only hit Hoagie. Hoagie gonna get taken down by Lolly Shentai. The Cataclysm used onto Lolly Shentai, but Young Gun gonna get taken down. That's everybody. Death. Nature's Craft's gonna catch Neil the Steel on the fountain, and Toadbeck's Law gonna tank both of the towers. And they sort of tickle him. And that looks
Yep.
like this is gonna be the game. Tower number 1 gonna get taken down by the Hex Deck Explosive. Tower 2 gonna drop now as Neil the Steel trying to get onto Lolly Shentai is not able to. As Garfield Juice just going to sit on the fountain, and that will be the game 2-0 over to T69.
Yeah, and that fight actually probably wasn't, you know, I think it was almost a decent look even from Fleshblade T69 forcing a little hard there, but when you're up that much gold, it doesn't matter. You can just brute force your way in there, plus the Baron buff. So, yeah, GG's T69 after their 0-2 week 1. They're going to bounce back here, even up their record after or going into week 3. So they're going to feel really good about that. And Fleshblade had some nice plays, ahead and even in the early game for a little bit there, but just didn't execute the fights well enough, and T69
Yeah.
take the 2-0.
I think it's unfortunate for Fleshblade because I do not recall too many fights where they had everybody at the beginning of the fight. Seemed like they were taking a lot of odd numbered fights
Oh, I'll change the
throughout that
scene.
game and just weren't able to get a full 5v5
Yeah, and even and like I said
consistently.
too, like
So,
I do like that they had more playmaking ability with like the Jarvan Rakan potential over not really having much engage from game 1, but you really got to be on the same page that you're going in together, and you have the damage to back you up immediately when you're in there applying the CC. And with the other picks that they had, was a little hard to execute that, I think. So, and I don't think they really ever had a clean Rakan Jarvan combo. Um, Again, like I said, not
outside of that
not
one try by
Hoagie's
Dragon,
most, yeah, not Hoagie's most known champion, and I do think that you do see a little bit of a falter there from when he's on an Enchanter. Didn't look he was most comfortable on some of those plays, but it's okay. It is still early in the season, like I said, 7 more
yeah,
weeks to go, and they can try to turn
you
things
know,
around.
early goings here, so there's still plenty of time for things to switch around for this team. Anyways, we will get a player of the game poll as we look at some stats here.
Oh yeah, I'll do a poll.
Sarah Cruz going to lead 21,000 damage with the Fiddlesticks, 34,000 damage for Lolly Shentai. Those boomerangs were putting in a lot of good work for that. 11,000 damage for the Torpedo on the Ziggs, and then 6,000 for Rel. I am the high ground. Over for Fleshblade, Mordekaiser leading the way. Garfield Juice with 26,000 damage. 8,000 by Neil the Steel. Young Gun with 9,000, almost 10,000 damage there. And then Super Hoagie with 2,000 damage. And a 30 to 10. Yeah. Really well done by T69, getting the 2-0 here, bringing the record to even as they will look to bring in this strong form into next week when they play Gaslighting Isn't Real. All right.
Poll
Who's
is
your
up.
player?
So So far, the first 4 votes. Well, now there's 3 all of a sudden for Syracuse, 1 for Tobex, 1 for Lali Shintai, 1 for High Ground. Sometimes I like kind of spreading out my votes when a team 2-0s, but I think in this case, Syracuse, to me, is a little bit more of a clear winner for game 2. I mean, he was a monster on his fiddlesticks, as he often is when he plays it. Very smart use. He knows how to play with his vision because he knows the fear on the Crow Storm is the biggest thing that you need when you're with him. So, I said that one time flashing over the Dragon Pit just to turn around and ult back in to get the Crow Storm. Um, and he was like 6-7-8-0, I think, at one point in the early game when his team was a little behind. He was the one who was kind of still playing well in the early game before the Silver really got going as well. And calm and collected. I think there was a couple 50-50 smites, or at least one that I think he won. So I'm going to give it to Syracuse, give him the victory for both games. But Lali Shentai definitely deserves
Deserves a
credit.
shout out. Yeah.
And Torpedo,
Uh,
very quietly that game, had a great score line. I think he only died maybe once or twice. I know at least at one
Once.
point he was like 5-1 and 7, and I know he ended better than that. I don't remember his final score line.
It's 5-1-9.
Gotcha. He was just kind of quiet, but like he was doing what Ziggs
Yep.
does. He was in the
Just
sideline
again,
pushing down turrets.
picking up things when he gets to fights,
Yeah.
and then contributing with the split push. I think he did really well again. But yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think Syracuse in the early game really helped carry it for his team, and that allowed the Sivir then to come online later. Um, so that for Fleshpoint they had to pick one or the other, and hope that they could survive it, and unfortunately they could not.
So I think we can go ahead and call it's 5-1 now in votes for Syracuse. So congrats, Syracuse, on your both player of the games for game 1
Let's
and
call it
game
Player of the
2,
Series for
player of the
me.
series. If you want to do a quick interview, we can, and we can bring in your captain if you want to as well. Will can join in. Fred and Will, if you want to join us, you can. If not, no biggie, but we'll see. Oh, somebody else is in player of the game 1 that I don't recognize.
That's Lugo.
Oh, I guess we'll go to player of the game 2. I see Syracuse is in there.
Hello.
Hello, Fred.
Hello.
Congratulations on a well-deserved 2-0.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Talk us through that play at the Dragon Pit, going over the wall and then coming back over. What did you see
Oh,
in that instance?
it's fiddlesticks. I don't know. Just always look for a fucking stupid ult. Um. So I got the dragon. I flashed out. I knew one of our people one of our folks would probably die there, and they did. And when I saw them kind of commit to the chase and funnel into that, I was like, oh, okay. And flashing away and then looking to re-engage is a very common fiddlesticks thing. You flash into fog of war and just try and reposition to get a good angle for an ult in. A lot of people don't expect that. So that was kind of the look there. All I needed to do was see them continuing to funnel forward, and it's just, okay.
Yeah, so obviously you really popped off game 2, but going back to game 1, um, to me the most impressive part of all of it was after that early start where Kane got your Raptors in red. Then still, like, I think being the most impactful player on your team the rest of the way, even after that start. You knew you needed to get Lucian ahead because that was where he was strongest. So that continuing gank with the good angle on the Maokai ult bot lane, the flash W's on a Soraka because she's squishy. You kill her, you can win the fight. Even being down uh, behind the Kane quite a bit early, I think were still the most impactful player, and that says a lot to be able to one keep your mental, but also just know you can still impact a game even if you're behind early. So
Thank you. I mean, it's the matchup. I can keep up with farm, but if Kane just kind of comes in, takes the top side like that, you either got to try to you can try to gank your way out or just try to farm your way out. I'm not gonna really farm my way out against the Kane usually.
Yeah.
But I just kind of walked bot. I had a really good feeling that Neil was gonna head down bot after his first clear. That's kind of why I was there to begin with, and he did show up bot in the first gank there. Really interesting. He got a lot of orbs, so that really went positive to him. But we knew we got summoners, spells bot, and just kind of repeat. I mean, I knew Will was fine on his Malzahar. He did a great job in game one, keeping even with Flesh of all people. And then Toby really popped off, basically 1v2 top lane. So big shout outs to him coming in on that Urgot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And
and that allowed me to focus on bot lane.
yeah, and I wanted to ask about obviously Toby doing a great job subbing for you, but as far as champ select and stuff went, the Rel, Maokai, and I don't remember what. Oh, yeah, mostly Rel and Maokai anyway, being flexible to go jungle, support, and even top, which you did the Maokai top game 2. I don't know if you play Rel jungle, but it can still go jungle. So was that something that was a big plan? Was like picking those Maokai Rel early just to like hide where people are going?
I mean, yeah, Maokai is just a good blue side pick, kind of like what they did with the Warwick. That was a really smart play. Just kind of pick, obfuscate, hide who's going where, pick up some power pieces when we have a lot of people who are comfortable with them in all the roles. So, and it's not like because I think some people will get too lost in the sauce with flexes. I think a lot of us in this league do, to where you just kind of end up in a subpar comp. But when you have champions that are literally like kind of A to S tier in all the roles, fit in a lot of good PMA LCS style comps, and then you have the players who are with the comfort on those champions to play them at that level on those in those roles. It's just really kind of easy, makes draft really easy, and makes a big guessing game for the opponent.
Nice. Well, kind of keep it not too long. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
Eric
good
has
there.
anything else.
Nah, I think that's pretty much good.
Okay, well, congrats on the 2-0. Get your record back to 2
Thank
and
you.
2.
Woo!
So yeah, lots of
Shout outs
seasons
to
still
High
to
Ground's
go.
Rail, by the way. Some
Yeah,
of those engages were nuts.
yeah,
Yeah.
paired very well with everything you guys
Yeah,
were
I
doing.
mean,
So
Dylan really needs as much hand holding as he can down there, and High Ground really stepped up to the plate.
yeah,
Well, I
absolutely.
mean, it's because half of the time his eyes on his other monitor looking at Lolly stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, like you can hear the drool dripping on his keyboard in the game. So
and all those big anime titties, right? So,
yeah.
just
Okay,
saying.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks
Thank you.
Syracuse for joining us. It's been fun streaming with
Yep.
Panda, and
Yeah.
we look forward to week 3 starting on Wednesday. I think is our first match. So stay tuned, and everybody have a good night.
Yeah, and big GG to Flesh, Neil, and the gang. That was a great series.